have a look at this MCQ. A 14-year-old female medical student presented with a febrile headache, vomiting. Physical examination revealed a petechial rash on the skin. Gram stain of the CSF revealed the presence of gram-negative diplococci, and culture suggested a strict aerobe that utilized glucose and maltose. Capsule antigens were also detected by serology, which is most likely the causative agent of this disease. These are the options. Now, guys, I have highlighted certain buzzwords in this question, which will help you arrive at the right answer. So basically, it is a 14-year-old female. Okay, so a young patient, febrile headache, vomiting, petechial rash on the skin is there. Gram stain of the CSF revealed gram-negative diplococci, which was a strict aerobic organism that utilized glucose and maltose. Capsular antigens were also detected on serology. So basically, this is a clinical vignette on meningitis, and they have given you all the possible hints about this organism. The organism is a gram-negative diplococcus. If your basics of microbiology are strong, you will not have any problem in solving any of the clinical vignettes, because I always tell my students that the longer the clinical vignette, the better it is, because you will have more hints in a longer clinical vignette. Now, it's pretty simple to answer. Pneumococcus तो gram negative होता ही नहीं है. Pneumococcus is what? Pneumococcus is an example of a gram positive lanceolate shaped डिप्लोकोकस. तो ये तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारा रूल आउट हो गया. लिस्टीरिया मोनोसाइटोजीन्स मैंने अभी बताया, इट्स एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ ग्राम पॉजिटिव कोकोबैसिलस. बोथ ऑफ दीज आर रूल्ड आउट. हेमोफिलस इन्फ्लुएंजा इज व्हाट? इट्स अ ग्राम नेगेटिव अगेन कोकोबैसिलस. ठीक है. सो व्हाट वी आर लेफ्ट विद Neisseria meningitidis, which has got the typical description of it being a gram negative diplococcus, and it is encapsulated. It has got a beautiful polysaccharide capsule. All right, guys. So let's learn about the important points about Neisseria meningitidis, because it's not just important to solve the MCQs and do the PYQs. You should be you should familiarize yourself with all the important points about that organism, so that if any other question from that organism is asked in the next exam, you are able to answer it. So over here you can see a house. You can see it is so crowded, है ना. कितनी भीड़ भाड़ है इस घर में. एंड ये बेचारा ऐसे उदास क्यों है, परेशान क्यों है? क्योंकि इसके सामने मुस्कुराता हुआ ये कौन है, लाल रंग का. दिस इज अ डिप्लोकोकस. तभी मैंने इसको इस तरह से बनाया है. इट्स अ ग्राम नेगेटिव डिप्लोकोकस. एंड शेप आप क्या कमेंट कर सकते हो? इट्स प्लेनो कन्वेक्स डिप्लोकोकस. एंड यहाँ पे ये क्या है? दिस आउटलाइन आई हैव ड्रॉन, दिस इज नथिंग बट द कैप्सूल. अब ये तो मुस्कुरा रहा है, और इसके सामने जो ये घर है जिसमें इतने सारे लोग हैं, ये सारे घर वाले परेशान हैं. पता है क्यों? तो घर वालों को लग रहा है कि वो स्क्रूड हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि gram negative diplococus, which is there over here, it loves to settings like these. कौन सी settings? क्राउड वाली सेटिंग्स, जहाँ पे लोगों का समूह होता है. क्लस्टरिंग ऑफ पीपल इज देयर. नाउ what information I'm trying to convey to my students by telling you all of this. Please remember, Neisseria meningitidis has got its residence as the nasopharynx of humans. It has got no animal reservoir. No animal reservoir. All right. And the mode of infection in case of this organism is what? Droplet inhalation. So imagine if in a crowded setting like this, अगर कुछ भी लोगों के nasopharynx में ये organism है, the infection can spread to other people also, and there could be an outbreak of meningitis. Okay. So in clinical vignettes on meningococci, it's very common to see the history of a group of people developing meningitis, and that too meningitis with a rash. So this meningitis is going to have all the typical features of pyogenic meningitis as far as the CSF profile is concerned, which I told you before, apart from the presence of a rash. So the very definition of meningitis by Neisseria meningitidis is that it's an example of pyogenic or bacterial meningitis along with a petechial or a purpuric rash. Please remember this. Okay. So this fellow Neisseria meningitidis is a commensal in the nasopharynx of humans, and the mode of infection, as I said, is droplet inhalation. Droplet inhalation. Now guys, Before I tell you more features about this organism, Neisseria meningitidis, also known as meningococcus, it's very important to remember the general features of genus Neisseria. Okay, so genus Neisseria is the genus of what? Gram negative diplococci. Oxygen needs it. These organisms are strict aerobes, as was mentioned in our question also. They are both catalase positive as well as oxidase positive. I personally call organisms which are both catalase as well as oxidase positive as what? COP or policeman organisms. C से catalase, O से oxidase, P से positive. As far as nutritional requirements are concerned, N से Neisseria, N से नक्चड़ा, तो मतलब इसके नखरे काफी हैं as far as nutritional needs are concerned. कहने का मतलब ये है, it is going to be fastidious or fussy. It is not going to grow on simple or basal media like nutrient agar. And CO2 needs. It's an example of a capnophile, that is for optimal growth it needs 5 to 10% carbon dioxide for optimal growth. So please remember these basic points about genus Neisseria. Genus Neisseria में basically two important pathogens you need to remember. One is Neisseria meningitidis, the other one is Neisseria gonorrhoeae. ठीक है? Neisseria meningitidis I'm going to cover in this in this module on CNS infections, and Neisseria gonorrhoeae हम cover करेंगे STIs में. Now, last but not the least, motility. Now, this is very interesting because genus Neisseria members are said to be what? They are said to be non-motile. But when I'm going to discuss Neisseria gonorrhoeae, that is gonococcus, I'll tell you a very tricky question which was asked in AIIMS exam before the INICET exam came into existence. Okay? For now, just remember genus Neisseria is non-motile, and some strains of gonococcus, they show twitching motility. Okay? Now, what that question was exactly, which was asked in AIIMS, which was on gonococcus, those details I'm going to cover in the module on STIs. Now, so the two important pathogens, as I said, you need to remember in genus Neisseria are Neisseria meningitidis, also known as meningococcus, and Neisseria gonorrhoeae, also known as gonococcus. Neisseria meningitidis, as I explained before, it is plano convex in shape like this, and it has got a nice capsule. Neisseria gonorrhoeae may remember gonorrhoeae में gone away capsule, मतलब capsule gone away, capsule होता नहीं है. And the shape is what? The shape is kidney or bean shaped. ठीक है? meningococcus M से शुरू होता है ना, we write it like this. यहाँ पे आप ऐसे बना लो तो आपको क्या मिल जाएंगे? You will get plano convex diplococci. And gonorrhoeae, alphabet G, looks somewhat similar to this. So just remember kidney or bean shaped cocci are which ones? Neisseria gonorrhoeae, also known as gonococcus, no capsule. As far as sugar utilization is concerned, हमारे question में क्या mention था? Let's have a look. Question में ये mention था कि this organism utilized glucose and maltose. ठीक है? So as far as sugar utilization is concerned, meningococcus utilizes both glucose as well as maltose, लेकिन gonococcus utilizes only glucose. देखो आसान है क्योंकि glucose is a simple sugar. It is going to be it's a basic sugar, the simplest of all sugars. तो ये तो दोनों ही organisms अच्छे से utilize कर ही लेंगे. Maltose is a higher, that is a more complex sugar, है ना? So M से maltose, M से meningococcus, ऐसे याद रखो. Now have a look at this diagram. So we have got these sugar media which have got certain sugars incorporated in them, and the color of the media is pink. If at all, we add an organism to these sugar media and that organism is able to utilize that sugar, then the color change will be there. That is, the color will change from pink to yellow. So in case of Neisseria meningitidis, the color change to yellow is seen in case of glucose and maltose. Sucrose is not important, even if you don't remember, that's fine. Sucrose anyways is not utilized by meningococcus as well as gonococcus. Now in case of gonorrhoeae, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, glucose is utilized, as you can see the color change from pink to yellow in this tube, and maltose it is not utilized. Okay? So this is a very good test to distinguish between meningococcus and gonococcus. आगे बढ़ते हैं. As far as VF, that is virulence factors, that is the arms and ammunitions or the astra and shastra of these microbes are concerned. In case of Neisseria meningitidis, a plethora of virulence factors are there, and a very very important virulence factor is capsule. About other virulence factors, I'll talk about in just a bit. In case of Neisseria gonorrhoeae, the virulence factors are pili. Now, as far as plasmids are concerned, plasmids containing drug-resistant genes are less commonly encountered in case of meningococcus. They are more commonly found in gonococcus. Beta-lactamase production. This also is less common in case of meningococcus, but it is relatively more commonly seen in case of gonococcus. So from both of these points, that is regarding plasmids and beta-lactamases, what do you expect? Drug resistance किसमें ज़्यादा commonly पाई जानी चाहिए? Obviously, in case of gonococcus, that is Neisseria gonorrhoeae, and relatively lesser degree of drug resistance is encountered in case of what? In case of meningococcus. Then the site of carriage of meningococcus, as I said before, is nasopharynx. Humans ka nasopharynx is the residence of these organisms. As far as Neisseria gonorrhoeae is concerned, it is genital tract of humans, that is, remember, urethra, cervix, and rarely pharynx. The mode of infection, as I said before, in case of meningococcus, क्या होता है? Inhalation of droplets. In case of Neisseria gonorrhoeae, it is sexual intercourse. So, Neisseria gonorrhoeae causes a sexually transmitted infection known as what? Gonorrhea. As far as vaccine is concerned, vaccine is available in case of meningococcus, but no vaccine is available in case of gonococcus. Okay. Then last but not the least, remember, meningococci are found both intra as well as extracellularly in the host, that is humans. They are going to be found both inside the neutrophils and outside also. And in case of Neisseria gonorrhoeae or gonococcus, these fellows also are found both intra and extracellularly, but predominantly they are found intracellularly. Now this important, about this very point in this table, that is the presence of these fellows intra and extracellularly. Definitely I must say these are, this point is definitely last but not the least, and I'm going to throw more light on this point when I'm going to dissect gonococcus in STIs, क्योंकि जो एम्स वाला क्वेश्चन मैंने आपको बोला ना, उसमें भी यही फंडा अप्लाई करना था. दैट्स व्हाई आई ऑलवेज से कि भाई अगर आपके बेसिक्स ऑफ माइक्रो स्ट्रॉन्ग है ना, तो कोई अपेरेंट बाउंसर भी अगर एग्जाम में आता है, कॉमन सेंस लगा के बेसिक्स अप्लाई करके आप बिल्कुल करेक्ट आंसर तक पहुंच सकते हो. ठीक है. Moving forward, the virulence factors of this organism meningococcus. So the devilish man meningococcus, ये काफी खतरनाक ऑर्गेनिज्म है, एंड ये खतरनाक इसीलिए है क्योंकि गॉड हैज ब्लेस्ड दिस फेलो विद अ लॉट ऑफ विलनेस फैक्टर्स which are definitely not good for us. So it has got a capsule. This capsule is a PS, polysaccharide capsule. It has got IgA protease enzyme, which is going to degrade ruthlessly, mercilessly the IgA antibody, which is referred to as what? This antibody IgA is referred to as the mucosal antiseptic paint. Then, being a gram-negative organism, obviously it is going to have endotoxin, that is lipo-oligosaccharide. ठीक है. ये आपका जनरल माइक्रो का भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट एमसीक्यू है कि विच ग्राम नेगेटिव ऑर्गेनिज्म के केस में एंडोटॉक्सिन इज नॉट रेफर टू एज एलपीएस, रादर इट इज रेफर टू एज एलओएस. सो दिस इज दैट ऑर्गेनिज्म, एंड इवन द अदर species of genus Neisseria which you need to know, that is Neisseria gonorrhoeae, there also the endotoxin is known as LOS, lipo-oligosaccharide, simply because the sugar chain is shorter in size. ठीक है. Then we have got outer membrane proteins, which include several kind of porin proteins. Then we have got various kinds of adhesins which will help this organism to attach to the host cells. And then we have got transferrin binding proteins which will help this organism to extract or steal iron away from transferrin. Okay. Now, as I said before, capsule is a very very important valence factor in case of this organism meningococcus. So this capsule is made up of PS polysaccharide. Why it is such an important valence factor? Because it is going to evade phagocytosis, that is it is anti-phagocytic, and based on the capsular antigens we have got 13 serogroups of meningococcus, and the most common serogroups causing invasive disease worldwide are which ones? They are types B and C. ठीक है, तो BC से याद कर लो, बिफोर कोविड करके याद कर लो. B and C are the most खतरनाक kind of serotypes worldwide which are going to cause invasive disease. Now, next important point. So we have got something known as the meningitis belt. That is the area where meningitis due to meningococcus is pretty common. This belt is found in sub-Saharan Africa, okay, spanning from Ethiopia to Senegal, okay, spanning from Ethiopia to Senegal. So this is referred to as the meningitis belt.